Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to H&W Welders on the Impossible Dream. Today it's a summer transfer special as we move from Season 10 into Season 11. And it's finally going to be our first season competing in the Champions League. Now, I think we've got a little bit that we need to do this summer. We just need to do a general strengthening. I'm not going to be actively looking for strikers. I'm not going to be actively looking for a number 10. We are going to need centre-backs because the best ones we have are on loan. And we are going to need left-backs as well. You can see from when we first started, we have a lot more strengths than we had previously. We have a good squad. We have the best squad in Northern Ireland at this point, I think. You can see we just keep scrolling down and down and down, and we have so many strengths, which is excellent. We do have weaknesses, though. So we do need to obviously look to build on those and try and remove them if possible. Now, a reminder of what we know is happening this window in terms of ends. We know that Andrew Ellis, a left back, is joining us on loan from Torino. So that's done, dusted, signed, sealed, delivered. It's happening. The other ones that we're looking to get done, a couple of right backs in Mohamed Gomez, a model citizen, and the other one is Jim Pearson. So that, along with Richard, I think, no, was it Roy Hill, isn't it? The guy that we signed from Southampton. That would just about get us done at right back, and we are looking to get in Dylan Lake, a left winger as well. So that would be good if we put him out there and Fisher as well, and would be very well served for left wingers. Then we just need to look to strengthen things on the right. So that's what we know is happening in terms of finances. We are upgrading the training facility, so that's taken a big chunk out of the budget. But still $2 million in the bank. We haven't got our confirmed budgets yet, but we're expecting about $500,000, just over $500,000, and the wage budget we're expecting to be about the same, which is going to be a slight problem because we're almost spending it now if all those loans go through. But we'll wiggle around with transfer budget and whatnot, and hopefully get a little bit more than maybe they're currently expecting right now. In terms of how the club info is looking, we'll do that next episode. And the dynamics, now this is where things could change around a little bit, because if we go to the hierarchy, Cagbo we know is leaving. McCullough, I can tell you, is leaving because his contract is up. So we're maybe going to be short a couple of team leaders, but there should be enough people there to push on and fill that gap. King, as vice captain, really needs to be one of those guys that makes that step up for us. But generally speaking, everything is looking pretty good. So let's get this summer underway. Okay, we have our official budgets. The transfer budget is as expected. The wage budget is slightly higher. So we're going to have about $7 or $8 grand a week. What are we spending right now? We're committed to spending 37. So we're going to have, maths, what's that? About $7 grand a week extra, which is, you know, a couple of decent players for us anyway. So we can always move transfer budget over as well. So we know what we've got. Okay, we have some awards for the league to go through here. McDade was the player of the year. No surprise there. 41 goals in 27 appearances. That is absolutely incredible. So well done to McDade on that one. He also won top goal scorer. Again, no surprise there. I'm assuming that was the Lavery Award, yeah, for quite a few seasons. But it's the first time a welder has won that, so well done to us. I'm assuming it's the first time a welder would have won the Player of the Year as well, yeah, because we're the first manager to take them up into the top division. McDade scoops best rookie, so that's Young Player of the Year, just ahead of Fisher. Again, oh no, we did win that last year with McDade. McDade absolutely owning that thing, isn't he? He's still only 21, 2-hour McDade. He's going to have another 3 Young Player of the Year awards before he gets to 24, isn't he? I won Manager of the Year. Hooray for me. The chairman's happy I won that. McDade's top goal scorer bonus is activated. And then we've just got a little bit of scouting. One other bit of news to confirm is if we go to transfers is that these two didn't go through. Pearson and Gomez both rejected the loan. So that's a bit of a pain, but we'll see what we can do there. But the good news, if we just go here, we can have a look and see that Dylan Lake he's back. He's staying for another year. So he has signed. The two right backs have not. Yeah, mate, I'll grab another one. Yeah, thanks. Hello, Mr. Chairman. How's your summer going? Yeah, good, thanks. Just enjoying the social club. Yeah, what's going on? You've received some bids for MLS clubs for Kyle Fisher. Yeah, mate, I've been getting those for about a year now. Oh, you didn't. We're about to play in the Champions League. Why would you accept bids for our best players? Well, at least it's just MLS clubs, I suppose. Oh, Falkirk as well. So there we go. Our dearly beloved chairman is in the process of doing it to us again. Potentially 1.7 million from 2 MLS clubs, 1.2 up front from LAFC, and 1 million up front from Seattle Sounders. Hopefully he will reject it. You can see there the client is, well, Fisher is willing to discuss terms, but he's also happy at the club. But then Falkirk came in and they offered 1.8 million up front, and then potentially a little bit more, and obviously the board accepted that as well. Hopefully Kyle Fisher will decide he wants to stay with us. He's not willing to renegotiate a contract with us, which is frustrating, and when I did try to renegotiate a contract earlier, he currently has a 2.5 million release fee in his contract, if you have a quick look at that, and the agent wanted to lower that, which is why I hadn't offered him a better contract, sort of preempting when just with the fact that MLS clubs were coming in for him. Yeah, they wanted to lower that, so it was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If we'd offered a bigger contract with a lower minimum release fee, you know, maybe he would have gone and we just would have got less money for him. But as it turns out, they haven't hit the release fee anyway. So that's frustrating. We'll wait and see what happens with him. He was brilliant for us last year. 23 goals from wing. We saw him, didn't he? Just jumping at the back post, scoring for fun. So let's hope he stays. There is a little bit of better news in that we've got a little bit of extra cash in for the Europa Conference League. So 1 million and then a little bit more there from that for television revenue. If you're wondering about the final, it was won by Arsenal 3-0, so perhaps we dodged a bullet. You know, if Arsenal can do that to a team that puts 7 past us, yeah, maybe we dodged a slight bullet there. But anyway, congratulations to Arsenal. Now, it is past June 1st, which is when our contracts are up. That means we have released players. If we go and have a quick look here at players released, and, well, this is who's left. So Omar Robin has gone. I was very tempted to keep him, but 25 unambitious. I just thought we could probably do better. Edgar, another one that in the end I just decided, no, get rid. We don't need to be hanging on to players because we like them. Fitzpatrick, who was brilliant for us, he has left the club. Connolly, one of the backup goalkeepers, has left. McCullough, who should have been better than he was, perhaps. I'm sure he'll sign for another club in the league, so we'll see him again. Patterson, who's a young centre-back. Kieran Sheedy, who came through our academy, and also Lewis Hill. Wish them both well. I think they're even our first youth intake, and a couple of other youngsters that we never saw, and at this point, we never will. So that is where we're at. Finances, we're currently spending £31,000 a week. So we have money to spend, and well, we haven't really spent anything of the transfer budget yet either. Okay, we are at June 9th, which means the transfer window across Europe has opened. We have officially got our left back on loan, Andrew Ellis, of course, on loan from Torino. He looks very, very good. Certainly a good defensive pickup for us, so that's going to be good. The fans like him, if we can get off that, as a B-. So that's good. We've lost a few players. Michael Keane, who was one of the youngsters that never quite came through, he is gone. And Cargbo has officially left us. He has gone off to Wrexham. He's on our shortlist. We'll keep an eye on him when he retires. We'll try and get him back as a coach, but we'll have to just sort of wait and see what the future holds for that. And the other bit of good news is that Fred Simpson did sign a contract to join us. So he's going to be joining us permanently. You can see there, $2,800 a week as a regular starter. So that's good. He was, of course, on loan with us last season, out of contract at Southampton. So he'll be joining us and, well, a big part of our defense, which is excellent. Now, we have had a little bit of troubling transfer bids. Anthony Armstrong had a bid come in from Bournemouth. We were able to reject that. It wasn't a big deal yet. But of course that might become a big deal. And the other one is Kyle Fisher is wanted by Wolverhampton. Now, it was a miserly bid. We could reject it. No big deal. He is unhappy. You can see that there. I basically said he has a release fee, which is 2.5 million. When that is met, he can leave. So it'll just kind of be a situation of, yeah, just hope no one meets that bid. And if we can get him a new contract, I would love to do that and raise that 2.5 million release fee. Unfortunately, well, he's not likely to do that while he's unhappy at having a bid rejected for him. So his contract is up the end of this season. We might have an awkward decision to make here before this window is closed, but let's hope that doesn't come to it. Okay, a few little things to catch you up on. The first is that McDade was Europe's top goal scorer. He won the European Golden Shoe ahead of Mbappe and Aaron Connolly, who's at Galatasaray. But that is absolutely... Look at some of the names on that list. Haaland, Immobile, Messi, Suarez, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mbappe, I think I said, and now Aaron McDade. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. But if we go and have a quick look back up here where we were, and we're up to European football. Ekezian's going out on loan, but I put that on the Discord earlier today, but finally did get him out on loan. And at 18, it's almost the perfect season for him to do it. So hopefully he has a good year at Glenavon for us. Competition rankings, though, the Premiership has moved up 2 places to 34th, so that's good. That generally, I think what we found with Bala Town is that the higher up this list you go, the more prize money there seems to be in the league. Welders, we have moved up 28 places in the end to 44th inside the top 50. That is huge. That'll really, really help us with seedings for draws. So that is excellent. Homegrown players for the Champions League, we can see there we've got 5 at the club, 11 at the nation. So we've got enough to get us through. So that's very, very... We have a lot of players there, don't we? Of course, not all of them are going to be at the quality we need. But we have gained a Champions League spot. That's for next season, the 31-32 season. This is the 30-31 season. So we only need to come top 2 this coming season to get into the Champions League. There's now a Europa League place as well. But we have dropped down. We've lost 2 places in the Conference League. So just... so we've lost 1 place in the Europa League, which... In the Conference League, we've just gone to the Europa League, but obviously it's all very, very nicely done. And if we are to win the league, we're in the Champions Path playoff, which means guaranteed Europa League group stage football. So that, again, is all very, very exciting. So everything is on the up in Northern Ireland. Okay, we have a few signings to announce, loan signings. But first up, Johan Munir, I'm not quite sure how you say that. I'm not sure how you say that. But a 19-year-old defensive midfielder. We've got him on loan from Montpellier for the season. $1,500 a week. You can see there he's a 3-star player right now. Can improve a lot. C-rated signing. I think this is one of those guys that the fans aren't going to like, but I think he's going to be very important for us. We've signed him for there. Good tackling, good passing, good work rate, and good teamwork, good determination. We know that when we play the big teams, we saw it against Valencia, we're going to need to have a defensive midfielder to play there, and I think, I'm hoping anyway, this will be our guy. Ideally, I'd like him to have a bit better positioning, a little bit better anticipation, and maybe be a little bit quicker. But otherwise, I think he'll do okay for us. So we've got him in on loan. He has played a little bit in Ligue 1, so that's, he's got a little bit of experience at the top level in France. So I think he'll do well for us. So that is the first signing. The second thing is a departure. Luca Hull has left for Bradford, 15 grand or more or less. He was good for us for a little while, and we just he had a serious injury, didn't he? And we just kind of moved past him. He didn't play for us at all last season. So I think another one of these guys, I think, will be fondly remembered, but had served his purpose in the team. And the final one is a backup goalkeeper in on loan, Paul Davidson from Dundee United. £750 we're paying him. He's again a C+ rated signing. And if we have a look at him, he's basically all we need as a backup goalkeeper. He should be able to fill in adequately when we need him. He's under 21 international for Scotland, but I don't think he's going to do too much. He played in League 1 last season in Scotland and did fine without being outstanding. So yeah, he's in on loan for the season as the backup goalkeeper. Okay, a very quick update. We have 2 free transfer signings. The first one is a backup goalkeeper, Ewan Medley. He was released by Southampton. We snapped him up £600 a week as an emergency backup. Unambitious personality. He's one of these guys that probably will never make it with us, but maybe also equally is worth the punt. So we'll see what happens on that front. But you can see the fans aren't particularly excited by him either. But yeah, £600 a week. I thought, you know what? Let's take the go at him and see what becomes of Ewan. And the other player that's come in is another Southampton player, Fred Simpson. Officially, his contract is up with them, so officially he has signed with us. So that's good to see. He is a welder full-time now. We have breaking news this evening out of H&W Welders, where manager Aussie Villain has announced a surprise press conference to announce, and I quote, a Champions League winning left back. Now things are just about to get underway, so let's cross live now and join in. Has anyone seen my moustache? Oh no, this is no joke. We signed Alaba. Yeah, is he here? He is? Where? Who's that? Allergy Bar? No, I signed Alaba. Al is short for allergy. Oh, so there we go, we have signed Alba. I didn't just sign him for the joke. He could actually be a useful left back for us. We've 19-year-old Norwegian. He's come from West Brom, £450 a week, so a very, very reasonable wage, and we can see that his potential is quite good. The fans don't mind him, which is nice. You can see the other ins and outs of his contract there. Let's have a look and see what we've signed. And I think, as he is right now, he's a very, very solid backup. He's got a decent cross on him, which should only improve. Decent tackler, marking, positioning, all that kind of stuff. The only thing is jumping reach and perhaps acceleration being a small issue. But generally speaking, I think he could go on and be a useful player for us. And the fact he's signed as a breakthrough prospect for £450 a week means that if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. So released by West Brom, picked up by the Welders, it's Alba. Okay, we've got another signing in, and it's another left-back, Tom Davies. No, not that one. Well, he's a little bit more than a prospect because he is a decent first-team player at this point. They don't like him as much, the fans, as Alba, but we're paying 300. You can see they're £300 a month, and then just under £4 a week. Let's have a look at him. He is more first-team ready. He's, again, decent in a tackle, good vision and good work rate and teamwork. Sorry, vision's not bad either, but he can cross and dribble, so he's more of an attacking option, and I think he's somebody that's more ready to come in and play in, in Europe or in some important games if we need him. He's only 18. We've got him on loan from Burnley as well. He's played a couple of games in the Premier League, so I think he is quite a good pickup for us, and that way Alba, we can just kind of ease him into things a little bit more, in the cup games and whatnot. But yeah, another loanee, and I think Tom Davies could be a very useful pickup for us. Okay, we have another loan signing. It's another fullback. This time, though, it's a right back. We had to push the boat out a little bit for this guy, Kieran Monaghan. We've loaned him in from Charlton. He wasn't actually transfer listed there, but he was only a breakthrough prospect. So I thought, let's see if we could get him in. You can see there, the fans like him a little bit more than they have some of the previous loan signings. But this guy, I think, is potentially going to be quite good for us. The only weakness in his game is jumping reach in terms of physically. But again, a little bit like Tom Davis. Not too bad getting forward. Decent in a tackle. Decent positioning, teamwork, work rate, all that kind of stuff. So I think he could be useful for us. Now, Charlton are currently a championship club. He was in League One last year and did quite well at League One level. So the actual premiership for him shouldn't be too much of a step up. But I'm hoping he'll be able to go a little bit above that and play some big games for us. So he'll be here as a backup, most likely, to Roy Hill. But I think he's more than capable of stepping in and filling in as well. So yeah, I mean, it would hunt £1,000 a week plus £1,000 in wages. £1,000 a week in wages plus £1,000 a month in fee. I think that's going to work out okay. What was the total thing? £9,000. Loan fee. I think that's going to be absolutely fine. So we're starting to take shape now at the back. Yeah, mate, I reckon he gets his 50 this season, McDade. You want a fiver on it? Oh, you're on. Hello? Barnsley? What do you want? Roy Hill? No, he's not for sale, mate. You've triggered his £1 million release fee. He's only worth 90 grand. No, you don't want to do this. He's not worth it. Okay, so this is not part of the plan. We've had a £1 million bid from Barnsley, of all places, for Roy Hill. Now, I'm hoping he's not going to want to go to Barnsley, and it's not as big a deal as it could have been because they're in the championship, so, I mean, they could afford it. The thing that's going to worry me here is the wages. We have offered him a new contract. We've basically maxed out what we can offer him, so he's going to be on more money for us, but ideally we want to keep him. So hopefully he's going to show a little bit of loyalty here and sign for us and not for Barnsley. So some good news, and that is that Roy Hill has decided to stick with us. So he's got his new contract, $3,600 a week now. You can see all the other ins and outs there. He still has a minimum release fee. The agent wouldn't get, well, I think he has an agent, wouldn't get rid of it. So it's up to $1.5 million now, so an extra $500,000. He's nowhere near it. I mean, the fact that Barnsley were willing to bid that for him, in a way you could argue we could have cashed in, but we're at the point now where replacing someone like this, it's difficult to do with either the transfer fee, which we essentially have, we don't have a big budget for transfer fees, and then wages as well is increasingly becoming an issue. But anyway, he signed his new deal, he's staying, which is excellent news. And some more good news as we've got in a centre-back on loan, Nathan Lewis from Norwich, a C+. Again, you can see he's decent enough currently. He's lots and lots of room to improve. Let's have a look at what we've got here. 4,700 a week, and he is Northern Irish. He's not bad physically. He's not bad mentally, certainly in the defensive stats. And he can tackle, which is kind of what we're looking at. Unambitious, so he's probably just going to be here for the 1 year just to fill in a gap for us. But yeah, he spent 2 seasons on loan at Glentoran a few seasons back and was okay without being outstanding, and he's not played a game since. So a bit of a punt, this one, and it's a relatively big wage punt as well. If we look at the finances, we're over our wage budget if the few other deals we have going now come through. So we'll have to see where that goes, and you can see I've had to move some of the transfer budget into wages as well. So we're running things a little bit tight. We've got about a week before, less than that, 4 or 5 days before Champions League qualifying. And I should say who we're playing in the first game too, shouldn't I? And it is Maccabi Haifa of Israel. So that's going to be an interesting first round tie. We are at home for the first leg. Obviously, therefore, away for the second leg. And if we look, I mean, their key player is a 20-year-old left back. So you'd say that's maybe not the worst position to have a key player in, no matter how good he is. Okay, we are at game day of our first Champions League qualifier against Maccabi Haifa. But before we end the episode, there are 2 new signings to introduce you to. The first is Fred Jacobs. 3,100 a week we're paying him on loan from Middlesbrough. Well, let's go and have a quick look at his whole profile. We're going to be using him as a winger. He's kind of the replacement for Masson, who we couldn't get back in. I forget why we just couldn't. I don't think they wanted to loan him. I can't remember the exact reason. But he's sort of a poor man's Masson in a way. He's decent enough physically, good jumping reach, so hopefully some headers at the back post, decent dribbling, decent crossing. He'll do okay, certainly at league level. But he is only on loan, so hopefully we'll be able to find somebody better in the future. He has never played a first team game before, which is not ideal. And the other player that we've got in, now I should just quickly mention, we have had a bid for Davidson come in. Now, he was initially upset. McQuaid stepped in and saved the day. And the other player that has been constantly getting bids throughout, you can see there, McQuaid doing a good job for us. But the other player that's constantly getting bids throughout the summer has been Fisher. Non-stop bids. But we've hung on to him. He's not looking to leave, so that's, well, as long as they've got a immediate release fee of 2.5 million, so that's all looking good. But the other signing we've got in on loan is Duncan McMenemy, 2.5 grand a week from Leicester City, a promising centre back. You can see again, fans don't mind him. And this sort of completes our defensive players. Now, he can play in midfield. I don't think he's going to be honest, but good in the air. I mean, good physically, generally speaking. Solid at the solid defensive technicals, and the mentals aren't too bad either. So yeah, I think that just about then sorts us out at the back. We'll sort of go with what we have now unless something comes up, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because if we look at the finances, we are over budget by about 3-4 grand a week. So yeah, we're struggling a little bit on that front, but I think we've built ourselves a pretty good squad. So let's have a look at the squad. And this is what we have to start the season. So it's not finished yet, but it's getting there. So our strikers, we have McDade. We know what he did last year. Davidson, who was absolutely brilliant last year as well. Diora, who is an able backup. And of course, Gary Turpie will feature in the first team this year. Still only 16 years old, but definitely ready to play some first team football for us, I think. If we drop back into the number 10 role, Armstrong is one of the stars of the league, so he'll be a big player for us. Chambers can play up here. We might look to use him a little bit more in this role this season. We'll wait and see what happens on that front. Napoleon, of course, can play up here, as can Jacobs. He's a more natural central midfielder, but as I say, we want to use him on the right. And Mr. X-Ray Vision, Sean Simpson, still here, still gets the job done for us when we need him. And I'm sure if we do need him this season, he'll be similarly involved. Now, on the left, we have Kyle Fisher, who was, again, a star for us last season. Armstrong can play out here, but I prefer him in the middle. Davidson, again, can play out here as an inverted winger. But the others that I like to play out here, Chambers, who is left-footed, and Dylan Lake is, I think, going to be actually probably the first choice left winger this season. And the reason for that is we are quite thin on the right. I think having spent last season trying to train Kyle Fisher to play as a left out-and-out winger, we're going to move him to the right and play him as an inverted winger. But he'll do a job there for us, and I think it kind of works because Dylan Lake is quality as well. The backups will be Fred Jacobs, who will be an out-and-out winger when we play him, and Rory King, who's done very well for us when he has played as that inverted winger. So we'll look to use him in that role again. But I would like to maybe get somebody in there. There's just very, very limited available. We're still only in July, so there's still time to go here. Now, a little bit deeper in midfield, Armstrong, we've seen him already, but he can play back here. McGreevy is a very good player for us as well. Meunier, or however you say that, he is in for this season as a defensive midfielder or a defensively minded midfielder. Napoleon, of course, has been a star for us playing in this sort of a role. McQuaid, club captain, has done brilliantly when he's played for us. He was in the team of the year last year. He's still getting that done. Chambers, of course, is a good player a little bit deeper in midfield, as is Al Emin, who did a really good job for us the longer last season went on. McMenemy, as I said, can play back here, but that's not what we've signed him to do, or for there, I should say. And Gournay, his contract is up at the end of this year. He is a Northern Irish player, which helps with squad limits, but I don't think he's quite exactly what we're looking for. So we might, if not cash in on him, then just let him go at the end of the season. If we go a little bit further back, now Ellis is the left back. He can play centre back and play it well, but I want him as a left back, I think, at this point. Fred Simpson, of course, has signed for us on a permanent deal, so he's here for this season. Curtis Coyle is one of the youngsters, absolute beast from a set piece and a corner, so let's see if he can continue that up this season. Nathan Lewis, Northern Irish kid on loan from Norwich, is an option for us back here, as is Tommy Martin, who did well for us when he played last year outside of Europe. That was a bit too big of a step up for him. McMenemy, who we've already seen, and the other player who can play at centre back if we need him to is Ton Davis, but I don't like his jumping reach or strength, so I don't think we'll see him there. Where we will see him is over on the left. Ellis is the first choice, as I said. Monaghan can play here, but he's right-footed. We've signed him to play on the right. Alba, of course, is here, and Tom Davis, who is sort of, well, he's definitely ahead of Alba. He again, on loan, could be a good player for us this year. Over on the right, Roy Hill turned down Barnsley, signed his new deal. He's our first choice. Monaghan will be there as his backup if and when he's needed. And Mickey Bain, back from his loan season last season at Glentoran. If we can get him out on loan again at a decent club, we'll do that. And if not, we'll just use him where we can in league and cup games. And goalkeeper, Zayanetti is the number one. He is, well, he was good for us half of last year. Let's see what he can do with a full season at the club. Davidson will serve as his backup on loan from Dundee United. And the other one that's in the first team is Ewan Medley. We signed him on a free transfer from Southampton. And we'll just kind of see how he goes. But that's it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed that, do make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time as we get Champions League football underway. Don't look at pre-season. It's not gone well, but I don't manage the game, so let the assistant do it. So that's my excuse. We have scored a lot of goals, though, getting progressively worse. But we have conceded a few as well. 6-4 against Celtic. Look at that. Anyway, I'm getting outside the point. Yeah, let me know what you think of the new signings, where you think we need to strengthen. There is obviously a few weaknesses still there. But generally speaking, well, we're certainly no weaker than last season, and last season was a very good season. Take care.